Red Bull is upset with Max Verstappen's treatment in Saudi Arabia, while Haas had its worst race of the season. You can now watch full 24-minute episodes of The Inside Line at our official home on unbeaten.com. Red Bull has bemoaned Max Verstappen's treatment in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, with Dr. Helmut Marko stating the team isn't treated the same as Mercedes by the stewards. Marko said the squad had evidence to prove the Dutchman didn't brake test Hamilton on lap 37, despite the fact the stewards found that he used 69 bar of pressure, resulting in 2.4 G of deceleration. But Red Bull took issue with the fact that Hamilton fell more than 10 car lengths behind Verstappen in preparing his tires for the second red flag restart, a punishable offense under the sporting regulations. Hamilton was more than 10 lengths behind. Vettel got penalized in Budapest when he did it, Marko said. Haas heads to Abu Dhabi with limited spare parts after both cars crashed out for its first double DNF of the season. Mick Schumacher went into the turn 22 wall on lap 10, which brought out the safety car and then red flags, both for the first time. While Nikita Mazepin was caught up in the turn 5 crash at the first red flag restart when he plowed into the back of a slow-going Alpine of two-time F1 world champion Fernando Alonso. This season has been an absolute write-off for the American team, with all resources focused on 2022. But expectations are that the sport's new era will be a brighter one for Haas.
We are in a very good place in the moment for the future. I really believe on it, and that made me last year keep on pushing that we stay around, because I can see the future. I spoke with FOM, and I understand that where they want to be. That is where we want to be.
Haas is on course to score no points for the first time in its history, and it's been a torturous campaign for the squad to endure.
It was a very challenging, very tough year, but going into it, we knew this was coming. It didn't disappoint the year, you know, with the predictions, but in the end, we are getting through it, or we are almost through it, and there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Australian Oscar Piastri has one hand on the F2 crown, with the Prema racer 51.5 points ahead of nearest rival, teammate Robert Schwartzman, with 1 round and 3 races to go. Piastri won the second sprint race and feature held in Jeddah as his rival Guan Yu Zhou's campaign fell away, elevating Schwartzman. 55 points are up for grabs at the finale in Abu Dhabi. Ensuring the strategy is clear for the final round.
Not do anything too special, but yeah, I think there'll be no risks because it's up to everybody else to take the risks now.
Piastri says while the pressure is off to win the crown, he's motivated to secure his 3rd straight title. And though Abu Dhabi will likely be his final races until F1 in 2023, the 20-year-old isn't worried.
Alpine are putting together a big testing program in the current F1 car. So I won't just be sitting on the sidelines doing nothing, I'll still be doing a decent amount of driving. And I want to be fully focused with Alpine because it's a brand new car for F1 next year, so a lot of things to learn.
1996 F1 world champion Damon Hill has reflected on his former boss, Sir Frank Williams, following his passing last week, stating that he was in awe of the man as a giant of the sport. Williams passed away last month, aged 79. And Hill, who won the World Championship with his team, spoke about his former boss's charisma in a chat with the sport's official podcast, F1 Nation.
He could charm people into giving him what he wanted. They would go out of a meeting feeling like they've had a great time and then realize later that he's got the upper hand on the deal.
Williams, whose eponymous team is now owned by US investment firm Doralton Capital, also famously believed that drivers were like light bulbs and replaceable, but Hill discovered another side.
On the one hand, he would kind of slightly denigrate or downgrade the drivers as being important. He absolutely was in awe of drivers. He completely stood in awe of every single driver he had driving for him. He would have loved to have been a racing driver.
Monte Carlo, in the south of France, is not just home to the world-famous Monaco Grand Prix, but also some of the drivers, given consistent warm weather for training and its tax haven status. And McLaren's Lando Norris is set to become its newest resident when the Brit moves there over the coming European winter. Norris, who is just 22 years old, was born in England and has stayed in the UK so far to be close to the McLaren Technology Centre in Woking. But with Norris now well established and able to work remotely, he has made the decision to move to Monaco to maximize his earnings. I think we've seen for other drivers how quickly things can also go downhill and so on, Norris said. I have to look after my things for my future. Norris will join other drivers living in Monaco like his McLaren teammate Daniel Ricciardo, Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Monegasque Charles Leclerc. Former Renault F1 boss Cyril Abiteboul has finally paid his dues in ink, with the Frenchman getting the tattoo he promised to Daniel Ricciardo if he scored a podium for the squad. Ricciardo raced for the Renault team, now Alpine, in 2019 and 2020 and scored 2 podiums, with the first coming at last year's Eiffel Grand Prix held at the world-famous Nürburgring. But Abiteboul left Renault at the start of 2021, putting the tattoo in doubt, until last week, when he got part of the brand's logo cut with a futuristic figure of a honey badger.
Thanks for honoring the bet. You know what's good?
Yeah.
Is a lot of people doubted it because it took so long. So they're like, he's not going to do it. So now actually,
the COVID and me not being part of it anymore.
Alpine racer Esteban Ocon says he's in awe of his teammate, 2-time F1 world champion Fernando Alonso, given his commitment and innovative approach to problem solving. Alonso returned to F1 this season after a 2-year hiatus, having left the McLaren team at the end of 2018 to compete in other top categories, like the World Endurance Championship, IndyCar, and the Dakar. Experiences that have given the champion Spaniard a much more global view of motorsport, useful for new eyes on F1 issues. How he thinks out of the box compared to the other drivers is unprecedented, Ocon said. There is nobody that will think like him and that will have his racecraft ever. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya will remain the home of the Spanish Grand Prix until at least 2026, ensuring its unbroken run of races, dating back to the first in 1991, continues into F1's new era. The track signed a series of 1-year deals in 2019 and 2020 to keep the race in Montmello through the pandemic. But a commitment to upgrade its facilities and sustainability plans saw a new 5-year contract inked. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya will host the first of 2 pre-season tests next year, with the other held in Bahrain. Two-wheel counterpart MotoGP has also signed a 5-year deal with the track to ensure it remains racing in Catalunya. Williams has continued to boost its ranks ahead of F1's new era, with the squad having signed another ex-Volkswagen Motorsport alumni in Sven Smeets as its sporting director. Smeets, who jumped aboard Williams last month, joins his former VW colleagues Jost Capito and Francois Xavier de Maison, with the trio part of Subaru's success in the World Rally Championship. Smeets became VW's motorsport director after Jost Capito left in 2016 and first joined Williams in Qatar, with the 49-year-old responsible for overall accountability at the squad. The Belgian will also lead Williams' young driver program that features Jack Aitken, Roy Nissany, and Jamie Chadwick. F1's Managing Director of Motorsports, Ross Brawn, says the Volkswagen Group's renewed interest in joining the sport is due to its commitment to sustainability with its next-generation power unit. F1 is set for an upgraded, cheaper and less complex power plant from 2026, with more standard parts and no MGUH, and will use net carbon zero fuel compatible with road cars. And Braun says it's the development of real-world solutions like e-fuels that excites the car manufacturers most. Electrification has its place. We believe sustainable fuels have their place. There's 1 billion vehicles getting onto 2 billion vehicles on the road at the present time, he said. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.